Swamin namaste natalokabandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdhau Māmuddharatmiya kataksha-drishtya rijvyati karunya sudhabhivrishtya Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste. Jnanaswarupam nijabhavayuktam Anandamanandakaram prasannam Yogindramidhyam bhavarogavedyam Śrīmad Gurum Nityamaham namami Śrīmad Gurum Nityamaham namami Nityaya Satyaya Chidatmakaya Navyaya Bhavyaya Paratparaya Shuddhaya Buddhaya Niranjanaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So for the last 2 days, we have been discussing this topic, the way to freedom and fearlessness in life. And we discussed that we always remember there is a higher purpose in life, and that is to attain unaffectedness, fearlessness in life. Life is not to be led in the manner in which we think, just getting born, getting educated, having a job, then getting married, having children, settling them, and then die. No. We must, while we are in the life, we must understand that there is a state where we can remain stable-minded, that is fearless, unaffected. We can have eternal joy and happiness, and that should be our aim. And for that, I was telling you that for anybody who once understands that such a state is there, and in that state, the happiness and joy which comes, it does not depend on any object. It comes from within, from the fountain of joy which is there inside us. Just it flows out. And to attain that state, one must always have faith in Shastra Vakya and Guru Vakya. We are being told that such a state is there. We do not know what that state is. We do not even know what God is. We do not even know what Atma is. But we are hearing about it, and at least all of you who are listening to such lectures, you must be feeling happy hearing about these Vedanta Vakyas or the Brahma Vidya Vakyas. But how do we have the enthusiasm to hold on to it and go forward? There we must have faith in the Shastra Vakya and Guru Vakya. Now, also yesterday I told you in great detail that 3 things are very rare in this life which comes together, and it has come together for all of us here. That is, one is humanhood, Manushyatvam. Second is Mumukshutvam. Manushyatvam is human birth. Mumukshutvam is the yearning to be liberated. Liberated from what? From all the sufferings and afflictions that we have in our mind. We have so much of afflictions. There may be big sorrows in life. There may be smaller ones. Very small ones like everyday life. we always want that everybody should behave well with us. I should be talked to in a very sweet manner by everybody. People should be considerate to me. People should be understanding about me. These are the little expectations that we have from our near and dear ones and other people also. And we do not get it. Always it doesn't happen. So we are afflicted. So this liberation is a great yearning not to be affected by all these things. So that is mumukshutvam. And mahapurusha samshrayaha. The two, if they come together, manushyattvam and mumukshutvam, the third also is very rare, which happens rarely in anybody's life. That is the samshraya or association of a holy person who is self-realized and who has taken you under his wings, or you are under the loving guidance and care of a holy Mahatma. This we discussed yesterday. Now, also I was discussing with you that we listen to all these talks. Many of us may be, reading scriptures every day as a routine, maybe contemplating on them, but we have to ask questions to ourselves that are we progressing? Why is it that when we listen to such talks, we feel very enthusiastic? We feel that, oh, it's so easy. I can also be like this. But when we go back to our life, all of your householders, to your household lives, what happens? Slowly we are not able to retain what we have heard. And then the world overpowers. The world overpowers us. So always a thought should be there in the mind. How can I retain what I have heard? And how do I progress? So this should be our one of the aims. The greater aim is what? To be unaffected. The second aim is, how do I retain what I have heard or what I have listened to? What should I do? Why is it that I am not able to? So there is a questioning in the mind. There is an introspection in the mind. Every day there should be an introspection that where do I stand? Why is it that I am not progressing? If we go into it, we'll find that we are not able to progress because there is lack of intensity. The intensity to progress is not there. Suppose there is a child who goes to school. There are so many students. One child feels that I must be the best student. I must get full marks in everything. Another child doesn't. The lack of intensity varies. So what to do to make this intensity stronger and stronger? So there is lack of intensity. This reminds me of one story. I'll tell in short. In many times, wandering sannyasins come to ashrams. Maybe in our ashram also, wandering sannyasins come. Mostly they come to take rest. And they are wandering, so they become tired. And when they come and say that we want to stay for 2-3 days and take rest. Sometimes they look very haggard, very poor, but sometimes there are sannyasins who look very brilliant. And when the sannyasins roam about, actually, you do not know who is who, whether he is very learned, whether he is even a mathadipati of an ashram, we don't come to know, unless they themselves tell that I am such and such person. So once, one elderly sannyasin came, he was a Malayali, and he looked very brilliant. He was short, and we used to have satsang after dinner those days. These days it is before dinner. So while we were winding up the Annakshetra, somebody came and told that Swamiji is calling all of you, please come quickly. Swamiji is asking some questions to this elderly sannyasin. He wants all to be present there. So we went, and This Swamiji and our Swamiji, they were sitting face to face and we all sat down. Swamiji was asking that, I heard from you just now that you had left your life in the world at the age of 18 or 20, and then you have been roaming about. You went to North India. So please tell us about your life. So this Swamiji, the wandering sannyasin, he told us that he had left and he went to Haridwar, Rishikesh, Uttarkashi, and he has had his learning of the scriptures from self-realized Mahatmas of those times. Then slowly he came down and presently he's in UP in a very remote village. The villagers are very good. They are devoted to him. They have made a small hut for him where he stays. And he spends his time reading and contemplating. Sometimes some villagers come to get some satsang, so that he does. So he said that I am very, very peaceful, but my life is a life of tragedy. Why he's saying like that? He said, my life is a life of tragedy. What do you mean by this? Our Swamiji said. Then he said, you know, I have taken lessons from very learned gurus and I am comfortable here in this small kutia. But if I think about myself, I find that where from I started my spiritual journey, I am still standing there. I have not progressed. It was a shocking statement from, he was 72 years at that time. So Swamiji said, can you tell us why you are saying this and what happened? He said one word, lack of intensity. See, he is a sannyasin. He had been a sannyasin for 50 years at that time. Still he was saying that I had lack of intensity. That is why I am saying that wherever I started, I am still there. And he was actually giving a warning and an instruction to all the ashramites that you are under a Sadguru, so don't waste your time. Every moment introspect and see that you are progressing. This was his wish. This is what he wanted to convey to us. But in that process, he told about himself what is that he had lack of intensity. So anyway, that day we dispersed and I was asking our Swamiji that what does it mean, lack of intensity? He being such an elderly Swamiji, why does he say that he has, because he looks very brilliant, he has studied all the scriptures. So Swamiji said that in Aparoksha Anubhuti, it has been given. What is this lack of intensity? Anusandhana rahityam, ahalasyam, bhogalalasa. That is, there are many other things. I am telling you about these three. Anusandhana rahityam. That is, you do not introspect. You become complacent. That is what happens to most of us. We start in the spiritual path and whatever little gain we have, maybe earlier I used to get irritated very quickly, or I used to be very, very reactive, or I would retort, I would become depressed also very quickly. Now I find that, no, I am become a little stable. I am not reacting so quickly. I don't get dejected so often. I am complacent. I have gained everything. And we stop there. So, anusandhana rahityam. One should not be complacent. Every moment one should try to see into oneself that whether I'm feeling that everything is good with me now. Is there anything further? Have I reached the aim? Have I gone ahead? What further is there? Can it be better? That should be. So, anusandhana rahitam, when you stop questioning, stop assessing yourself, then you are stuck. Then alasyam, lethargy. Lethargy. We are full of lethargy. We do not want to get into anything by which we have to make an effort. Say, what is the effort that anybody, any seeker, any sadhaka must have? Have a disciplined life. Have a disciplined life. Say you get up in the morning, or you think that you take a resolve that I will read 4 slokas of Bhagavad Gita every day. Read means read studiously, not that you read the lines while constantly thinking that I'll get up and see that serial. It's not like that. Or I will go after that, I'll go to the market, or I'll go to a party. Not like that. Be studious, understand, take each word inside. So that much effort has to be given. So have a routinous life, whatever you want to do. Think, just here, my room is very nice. Whenever Dr. Nandwani comes, now I am a patient, so he comes very often to my room. Dr. Das also comes. But Dr. Nandwani says that your room is very nice. I feel myself, my room is very good. Because when I lie on my bed, I feel I am in a forest. I cannot see anything else except trees, big, big trees. And I feel I am in a forest. So there are often moments when, not only here, wherever I am very fond of nature. So looking at nature, we should be wanting to sit alone. Look at nature. Look at the sky. Feel the breeze. Feel the light. And think that this whole thing is pervaded by that one universal consciousness. Our whole thing is pervaded by God, whichever you feel happy with. In Bhagavatam there is a shloka, Kham vayumagnim salilam mahim cha jyotim shi sattvani dishodrumadin sarit samudramscha hare shariram yatkincha bhutam pranamedananyah. Kham vayumagnim salilam mahim cha. It is being said that Kham is what? Akasha, sky. Vayu is wind. Agni is fire. Kham Vayu Agnim Salilam is water. And Mahim is earth. So the Panchabhuta. We are always interacting with the Panchabhuta. Jyotimshi, all the celestial objects. Sattvani, all the creatures. Disho Drumadin. Dishaha is all the directions. And Drumadin, plants and trees. Sarit Samudramscha. Sarit is river and Samudra is Samudra, ocean. So, one by one, everything that we interact with in our day-to-day life has been told, has been mentioned. Why? Because when we are interacting with them, we just interact. We never think what it is. This sloka is saying that all this is what? Hare Shariram. It is the body of the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord is one without a second. It is all pervading. So it is the body of the Supreme Lord. It is pervading everything. So as soon as we interact with something, whether it is good, it is bad, whether we like it or dislike it, the thought that should come to our mind is that it is the Supreme Lord, God, or the Brahman. The thought will not come unless you tutor your mind. You have to tutor. There is the effort. So when I say that, when I look at nature, initially those thoughts was not coming. But suddenly you feel that no, I have to tutor my mind. What are these? I'm reading the Shastras. The Shastras are saying this. But why is it that my mind never feels that I'm interacting with godly things or God Himself or Brahman. I don't see. I don't know what God is. I don't even know what Brahman is. But the Shastras are saying, so what should be our thought process? What should be our introspection? What should be our feelings? So that I feel that I am in the midst of that divine presence. Once we think like this is a habit. It forms into a habit. This is what we should do effortfully. Sitting somewhere, reading somewhere. So at that time, seeing a beautiful flower, it will not be the flower which will come to your eyes. It will be who has created this flower? How he creates? How many things he is creating? So God will come to the mind. This is what we should do. Similarly, what we should assess is that am I becoming more and more dispassionate? When we take the word, Swamiji says that using the word dispassionate, everybody will feel very afraid, especially those who are in the household. That will we leave everything? Will my attachment to everything will go? No. Dispassion doesn't mean that you have to leave. Dispassion is staying a little away and watching everything, so that you won't have attachment, so that you will know what is what. Like every day the sun is rising and the day is passing. At the end of the day, what happens? The sun sets. We consider that today is 19th February, morning was like this, now it is end of the day. Tomorrow will be 20th February. This is what we think generally. In that, sometimes some special days come. So, our Bhartrihari has written one sloka in which he says, Adityasya gata gatai raharaha samkshiyate jeevitam vyaparair bahukarya bhara gurubhi kalo na vijñāyate. He says, Adityasya gata gatai raharaha. Every day we are seeing that the sun is rising from the east and setting in the west. That much alone we think. Do we associate it with the fact that one day from my life has gone? Do we associate? Never. Never we think that one day has gone. One day I have approached death. But we are constantly in the midst of hectic activities. Vyapareir bahukarya bhara gurubhi. Constantly we have to be active. So we will be discussing about it, thinking about it, planning about it, executing them, but never thinking that one day has gone. Have I done anything for myself? Have I gone nearer to my aim? Do I remember my aim at all? Do I do anything for that? We don't think. So he says that Drishtva janma jara vipatti maranam trasaschanotpadyate. So the Kavi is saying that Drishtva janma jara vipatti maranam. We are seeing birth, we are seeing old age, we are seeing that people getting into a lot of troubles and adversities and also death. We don't think that all these will visit us. We feel that I'll be okay. So he says that just look at the world. People are like this. And what we should do? Dehe sthimam sarudhire abhimatim tyajatvam. It is being said that to be able to go towards your aim, what is the aim? Freedom, fearlessness, unaffectedness, even-mindedness, stable-mindedness. So that let anything happen, कोई भी विचलन नहीं होगा. कुछ भी हो जाए, कितना भी हमें दुख सहना पड़े, कोई विचलन नहीं होगा. ऐसी एक स्थिति है, वहाँ तक हमें पहुँचना है. और उसको सामने रख के हमको सब काम भी करना है। काम से अलग रह के तो हम नहीं रह सकते। तो हमको शास्त्र क्या बताते हैं? रोज रोज ये सोच, देहे स्थिमां सरुधिरे अभिमतिं त्यजत्वं जायासुतादिषु सदा ममतां विमुञ्च पश्यानिशं जगदिदं क्षणभङ्गनिष्ठं वैराग्यरागरसिको भवभक्तिनिष्ठः देहे स्थिमां सरुधिरे अभिमतिं त्यजत्वम्. We have so much of attachment to this body. And what is this body made up of? Asthi, mamsa and rudhira. That is bones, flesh and blood. The essence is that only. But we are so much attached to it. I feel that I am the body and everything around me is mine. So much of possessiveness, so much of clinging, so much of attachment. Jaya sutadishu sada mamatam vimuncha. So, if you want to go towards your aim and fulfill your aim, our Shastras are saying that do not be attached to your body and whatever you think as yours. But also, Jaya sutadishu sada mamatam vimuncha. Do not have mamata for your wife, your children, your house, your property, your wealth. Do not have mamata. If you have mamata, if you do not work not to have it, then you will be suffering. And we don't want to suffer. But in spite of this, although the Shastras are telling us again and again, we do not listen. We do not listen. We do not want to make effort. It says, Jaya sutadishu sada mamatam vimuncha. Muncha means त्याग करो. विमुंचा, विशेष रूप से त्याग करो, काटो उसको. अच्छा, तो क्या करेंगे फिर? पश्यानिशम जगदिदम क्षणभंगनिष्ठम. पश्या अनिशम, हमेशा देखो. क्या देखना है? जगत को. We are always interacting with the world, but we are not seeing it in the right color. What is that? Jagadidam shanabhanganishtham. This world is shanabhangura. This world is what? Fleeting, transitory. It is just like a bubble. It can any time break. So, what we have to do? What should be our everyday routine also? I was telling that we have to tutor the mind. Tutor the mind to introspect, to think. So what is this thought? One is think that God is everywhere. Another is that, see, look at the world. The world is Shanabhangura. It doesn't stay. It always breaks. It does not remain happy always. So, Pashyanisham jagadidam shanabhanganishtam vairāgyaрагарасiko bhava bhakti nishtha. And grow vairagya in your mind. Vairagya means understanding that I am attached, I must not be. I am possessive, I must not be. I cling, I must not be. I should not be. And grow devotion in your mind. Bhava bhakti nishtha. Now our nishtha is where? In world. Jagad nishtha. We are only having nishtha for the world. Now he's saying that grow bhakti towards God, so that automatically you will find many of the things which used to be liked by you in the world, slowly they are falling off. Unnecessary things are falling off. You are having thought of God, thought of, the divinity which is the essence of our existence, that will be there in your mind. So I used to ask Swamiji that, Swamiji, I do not know how God looks. I do not understand what this Atma is or the self-realization is. So what I should think while doing heavy activities throughout the day. I am working and working and working. And all that work is not doing some puja. I am not doing puja or anything. Maybe partly little bit. But just like the gopikas getting up in the morning, boiling the milk, churning the buttermilk, preparing breakfast for Swamiji, serving him in various manners, serving the devotees, looking after the ashram, all work in the household, but in a 100-fold manner, you can say. But then, while my hands are active, what should my mind think? So that I feel a divinity. I feel a divinity in me. I do not blame people. I do not criticize. I do not think of unnecessary things. Why somebody has behaved with me like this, or why this thing has happened to me. Not those thoughts. I want to be immersed in such thought, which will be only divine. Only divine. Is it possible? Swamiji said, yes, it is possible. And he said, for that, read about the stories of God. Sing His name. Think about Him. Love everybody. And think that He is everywhere. It is not easy. Not at all easy. Because we are dealing with such things where we don't find God at all. But, one has to persevere. One has to persevere. My Guru has said, so I must do it. So do what? Sing His name. Sing His name with soul and heart. You may not have tune, but you may have bhava. You feel that God is everywhere. I will chant His name, feeling that He is the dearest and the nearest and most inside. He is the one to whom I belong. I may be thinking that my parents will protect me, my children will protect me, husband will protect, or the wife will protect, my money will protect, but all that is false. Only God who is inside me can give me solace, give me that protection, can give me that fearlessness and unaffectedness. So, in the midst of work, see what I'm trying to tell you. Please remember, I've got a topic, so I'm talking. But I want to tell you this, that all of you are active people, and we are all active. In that activity, how to make the mind feel the divinity that we are, which is our Swarupa, which is our real essence, which is our real identity. We should not forget that. We constantly keep running away from that. To what? To the world which is absolutely fleeting, transitory, and which will never stay. We keep on running away from ourselves. That which will give us complete and eternal joy and happiness and protection, we run away from there. And people think that it is very difficult. It is not at all difficult. One has to grow love for that. And to do that, one has to make a habit. Make a habit. Just like, say, when we were children, if you were asked to add 2 plus 3, how will we add? 2 fingers and 3 fingers, we will join then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After some time, do we have to add like that? It becomes a habit. We can add mentally. Similarly, we have to give a habit to the mind. habit to the mind to think of this divinity. And it is possible. You know, one Kavi has written, what is our condition? Human beings. Kanta ime me, tanaya ime me, griha ime me, pashavastvi me, evam naro mesha samana rupaha, me krita kalavrikena nitaha. Kanta ime me, tanaya ime me, griha ime me, pashavastvi me, evam naro mesha samana rupaha, me krita kalavrikena nitaha. In Sanskrit, me means मेरा. तो ये श्लोक क्या बोल रहे हैं? कांता इमे में, ये जो है ये मेरी वाइफ है. तनया इमे में, इमे शब्द को आप लक्ष्य कीजिए. ये तनया, ये जो लड़की है ये मेरी बेटी है, ये मेरी वाइफ है, ये मेरी बेटी है. संस्कृत में बोला जा रहा है तो मैं. गृहा इमे में, घर भी मेरा ही है. पशवस्त्वी में, ये जो कैटल है, गाय वाय बकरी वगैरह, गाय भैंस बकरी ये सब, ये भी मेरे हैं. मैं. एवं नरो, ये मैं बोलते हुए ये मनुष्य जो है वो कैसा है? मेष समान रूपः. वो जो होता है ना बकरी, वो तो बकरी जैसे, बकरी लोग भी क्या करते हैं? मैं करते हैं ना. तो मनुष्य भी मैं ही कर रहे हैं. ये मेरी वाइफ है, ये मेरी बेटी है, ये मेरे घर है, ये मेरे पशु हैं. ऐसा करके वो बकरी बन जाते हैं. और वो बकरी को फिर क्या होता है? जम आके जब खींचने लगता है तभी भी वो मैं करके ही जम के द्वार में पहुंच जाता है. ये है हमारा मनुष्यों का दशा. पर हम लोग वही करते रहते हैं, ये मेरे हैं, ये मेरे हैं, ये मेरे हैं. पर इससे हटना बहुत मुश्किल है. आप जानते हैं ना उद्धव का कहानी. जब कृष्ण भगवान तो आए थे धरती पे, क्योंकि धरती में अधर्म बहुत बढ़ गया था, तो उन्होंने जन्म लिया, अवतरण हुआ उनका. फिर अधर्म भी सब कुछ हो गया, महाभारत युद्ध हो गया, उनको वापस चाहिए, स्वर्ग नहीं जा रहे थे, द्वारका में अपनी पुरी बना के वहीं पे बैठे हुए थे. So at that time, all the devatas, all gods and Brahma, etc., they came to him and said that it's time that you come back to us. So he said that, yes, I know. Only thing I'm waiting for that day when I will destroy my own clan, because they have become very proud. I belong to them, so they have become very proud. If I go away, they will again bring about adharma. So I will destroy them and then come. Uddhava, who was his childhood friend, he heard this, that Krishna has agreed to go back. So he was in tears. So when the gods left, he came out and said, I heard this conversation. Oh Lord, are you going to leave us? Then what will we do? And he said, it's a very beautiful shloka where he says, Naham tavangri kamalam shanardham api keshava tyaktum samutsahe natha swadhama nayamam api. He said that, hey Natha, we are not able to stay, I am not able to stay without you even for half a moment. So how will I stay without you? So wherever you are going, please take me along. Krishna said that, how can that be? You do one thing, you go away. And he said, Tvam tu sarvam parityajya sneham swajana bandhushu maya veshya manasyamyag samadrik vicharasva kam. He said that, उद्धवा, तुम मुझे छोड़ नहीं सकते, हम चले जाने से तुम्हें बहुत दुख होगा, तो तुम एक काम करो, त्वं तु सर्वं परित्यज्य, तुम सबको त्याग करके, स्नेहम स्वजन बंधुषु, स्वजन और बंधु में तुम्हारा जो प्यार है, ममता है, उस सबको छोड़ के तुम निकल पड़ो और ये जो धरित्री है इसको अपने में देख के तुम समद्रिक बन के सब जगह पे समान भाव रख के तुम विचरते रहो। मय्यावेश्य मनः सम्यग्, और तुम्हारा मन मेरे में एकदम मग्न करके तुम निकलो। आप जानते हैं what he said, उद्धवा said, हम बचपन से आपके साथ रहे हैं, आपके साथ खेले हैं, आपके साथ खाना खाए हैं, आपने जब कोई कपड़ा उतार दिया वो हम पहन के खुश हो जाते थे, तो अभी हम कैसे यहाँ से जाएंगे आपको छोड़ करके? हम अपने देह को ही हम समझते हैं। आई एम द बॉडी, आई फील दिस इज मी, आई एम द बॉडी, और इस बॉडी के साथ जो कुछ भी है आई फील इट इज माइन। तो मेरे में इतना ममता है कि उस ममता को हटा के इतना अटैचमेंट है, आपके माया से ही मेरे मन में ये अटैचमेंट, ये पॉसेसिवनेस सब आया हुआ है। हम नहीं जानते कि हम इसको कैसे पार करेंगे, इसको ये सब ममता रहते हुए कैसे हम जा सकते हैं, हम नहीं जानते। तो मुझे आप इंस्ट्रक्शन दीजिए, निर्देश दीजिए, समझाइए कि हमारा मन से ये अटैचमेंट कैसे दूर हो जाएगा, ये हमको सिखाइए। फिर श्री कृष्ण उद्धव को इंस्ट्रक्शन देते हैं, निर्देश देते हैं। 24 chapters, it is called Uddhava Gita, that is in Bhagavatam. It's wonderful to take away attachment and possessiveness from anybody's mind. Uddhava Gita is so beautifully written. Like Bhagavad Gita is in the battlefield when Arjuna crumbled, suddenly Krishna had to give him some advice. This is not like that. This is Uddhava, he is also old, Krishna is also old, and in the palace, Krishna is telling Uddhava how to get rid of attachment and become even-minded and stable-minded. All these things one should read, you know. Reading should mean, I have found, especially in Kerala, people read Bhagavatam. Everybody reads Bhagavatam. And I have read 4 chapters today, I have read 5 chapters today. So that becomes mechanical, a routine. We feel very happy that I have been able to complete 4 chapters. Not like that. Each and every word that we read, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Vivekacudamani, or whether it is any other scripture, read only one sloka, but it has to be assimilated. One should feel that I must be like that. I also want to be like that. Akashavalle paviduragoham. I had told you yesterday that one sloka you can learn. That was from Vivekacudamani, the 3rd sloka. This one also I feel you should learn. There is no, in Delhi this time I was very happy while giving a lecture because they made arrangement for projecting the slokas. So the slokas were projected on the wall and the audience could repeat it. This sloka, many of you may know it also. Akashavalle paviduragoham adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham aharyavan nitya vinischaloham ambodhivat paravivarjitoham akashavalle paviduragoham. You know, this sloka, if you learn, this is also from Vivekacudamani. I think it is 499th sloka. It says about oneself. हम बार बार बोलना चाह रहे हैं कि हमारा स्वरूप क्या है. स्वरूप वही है, अनअफेक्टेड, अविचलित, अविचलित रहना हमारा स्वरूप है। फियरलेस, निर्भय हमारा स्वरूप है। पर हम लोग हमेशा सोचते हैं कि हम वीक हैं, वीक हो जाते हैं, कुछ भी हो तो हम वीक हो जाते हैं। पर ये वाला श्लोक, इसको अगर हम दोहराते हैं किसी भी एक सिचुएशन में, जब हम दुखित हो जाते हैं कि गुस्से हो जाते हैं, उस समय हमको इसको याद करना चाहिए। इसी तरह अपने आप को इस हैबिट में डालना चाहिए कि उस समय हम कहें, आकाशवल्लेपविदूरगोहम, I am taintless like the sky. I am taintless. Am I taintless? Do we think that we are taintless? No. Anything happening, we get tainted. But the sky is like this. Suppose we draw a line on earth, the line will remain. Suppose we try to draw a line on water, then as we draw our finger, there will be a line and slowly it will start getting mixed again. But in space, suppose we draw a line, does it keep any mark on it? No. Actually, our true identity is like that. There is no lepana. Taintless we are. We are. So whenever the mind becomes tainted, whenever the mind starts feeling weak, we should remember, no, I am not like this. Just keep quiet. Go to a corner of the room. Do not react. Remember this sloka, that actually I am like this. Then why is it that I am behaving, or why is it that my reactions are different? That is because I have not assimilated it completely. How can I assimilate? Akashavallepaviduragoham adityavat bhasya vilakshanoham. Adityavat bhasya vilakshanoham. And like the sun, I am always bright, always brilliant, always I am luminous. I am like that. But in reality, or not reality, actually, whenever we have to interact, we are not like that. The mind becomes dark so often. So often. In spite of having everything, the mind becomes dark. It gets up with a darkness. अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, आज क्या करेंगे समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है. You don't find enthusiasm. It happens many of the days. The mind becomes dark. At that time we should sing this. Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham aharyavan nitya vinishchaloham. Aharyavat. आहार्य क्या है? माउंटेन, पहाड़. पहाड़ को जैसे धक्का मारने से मूव तो नहीं करेगा, हम नहीं उसको हिला सकते. लाइक दैट आई एम. हु कैन गिव मी अ मूवमेंट? नथिंग कैन गिव मी. I will not be moved by any happening in this world. You know, when we first went to the ashram as a visitor at that time, Swamiji writes letters, replies to the letters. Always he will be typing. So he wrote a letter. He was writing a reply to somebody, and it was a long letter. He gave me to read it. It was a beautiful letter. I think most of it I asked Swamiji's permission and wrote down in my notebook because I thought it will be very useful for me. In that, there was a sentence which remained in me. I have remembered it so many times. It says that tell this huge world, I will be only enriched in your hands. I will never be depressed. I will be never moved. What is that? I will be enriched in your hands. What is enrichment? Who are called rich people? जिनके पास wealth होता है, जिनके पास पैसे होते हैं, प्रॉपर्टी होता है, उनको हम लोग रिच बोलते हैं. What is enrichment of mind? Enrichment is of the mind. जब मन के ऐसे गुण हैं जिनको पा करके मन धनी बन जाता है, तो उस लेटर में स्वामी जी ने लिखा था कि हम पूरे वर्ल्ड को चैलेंज दे रहे हैं, चाहे आप मेरे सामने कुछ भी ले आओ, उस घटना से हम सिर्फ धनी ही बनेंगे, धनी ही बनेंगे मन से। ये बहुत अच्छा लगा था हमें, उसको हम बहुत याद रखे हैं। और हमारा जो जीवन है अपने गुरु के चरणों में, स्वामी जी हमेशा कुछ प्रॉब्लम होने से, उनके पास जाने से, अगर हम बोलते हैं कि ये प्रॉब्लम हुआ है, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू सॉल्व इट, स्वामी जी हैज़ ऑलवेज नेवर ही हैज़ सिंपथाइज्ड, कभी भी सहानुभूति नहीं दिखाई, सिर्फ ये बोले हैं, आई विश यू फॉल इनटू सच काइंड ऑफ ट्रबल 100 times more, so that every time you can grow to a higher dimension. समझ में आया? This is what happens at Guru's feet. कुछ भी करो, वो कभी सहानुभूति, पहले 1 साल तक थोड़ा सा सहानुभूति दिखाए थे, उसके बाद एक दिन बोले कि आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू एनी मोर. Why is it that you are not able to solve these problems? एक लड़की थी काम वाली, वो बहुत सताती थी, भाषा ही नहीं जानते थे, उसको चलाना है, तो जो भी वो करती थी उसके बारे में आके हम स्वामी जी को इंग्लिश में बोलते थे, स्वामी जी उसको मलयालम में बोलते समझाते थे, वो फिर अपनी स्टोरी बताती थी जो उसको समझ में नहीं आता था हमको. और कुछ दिनों में हमें लगने लगा कि हम जो कुछ भी बोलना चाह रहे हैं, स्वामी जी वो नहीं बोल रहे हैं उसको, स्वामी जी अपना बोल रहे हैं कुछ. नेचुरली स्वामी जी तो अपने ही स्तर से बोलेंगे ना. तो ऐसा करके जब 1 साल हो गया, तब एक दिन बोले, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू एनी मोर. सपोज शी वॉज योर डॉटर, वॉट वुड यू हैव डन? सच में अगर ऐसी एक बेटी होती तो हम क्या करते? उसके 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 बारे में किसी ना किसी को जाके थोड़ी कंप्लेन करते, रोज किसी ना किसी तरह उसको, वो सिचुएशन को हम हैंडल करते. एंड ऑफ कोर्स नॉट विद बिटरनेस. अगर मेरी बेटी होती तो जितना बिटरनेस मेरे को इसके ऊपर लग रहा था उस समय, वो बिटरनेस तो नहीं रहता. सो ही सेड, सपोज शी वॉज योर डॉटर, व्हाट वुड यू हैव डन? देन ही सेड दैट if you cannot make her do work by your orders, make her do your work by love. And it went deep into me. And I tried it. I practiced it. I think today somebody was telling that when all these workers, they do not listen, they do not do work which has been allotted to them, don't you feel agitated? I said, yes, earlier I used to, but I have learned from my Guru. I have seen him how he deals with them. And he has always taught us, if you have to say something, not only workers, to anybody, first own that person and then say. हम लोग सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं? उसको अलग कर देते हैं और खूब गुस्से से बहुत कुछ बात बोल देते हैं, उसको अपनाते नहीं हैं. अगर अपना लेते हैं तो हम कुछ भी बोलने के लिए हमारा अधिकार भी बनता है. So I used to find there's certain things, some matters, but I was not able to solve, I will bring to Swamiji, even later years. And Swamiji, where there would be lot of arguments from the workers maybe, when it is brought to Swamiji and Swamiji talks to them, they simply listen and go and do the work. So I used to think that, what is this? I must learn this way of dealing with the workers. And देख देख के समझ में आया. जब वो पहले बोलते थे कि अपनाओ पहले, तो नहीं समझ में आता था कि क्या बोलते हैं. हम तो उसके लिए बहुत सोचते हैं, उसको खाना भी देते हैं, कपड़े खरीद के देते हैं, ये वो बहुत कुछ याद आएगा. पर what is that apnana? And it is nothing different from where we learn from our shastras that consider everybody to be the one self. One self. Nobody is different. See, when we went to Hatha, we are so sorrowful looking at the plight of those recipients. We feel sorry. But do we feel one with them? At least, do we stop and think for a while that the same self is there in them and me? I must be able to feel their sorrow exactly in the manner in which they are feeling. Be them. We completely forget all that. We don't. We become busy with the externals. एक्सटर्नल भी तो करना ही पड़ेगा, पर थोड़ी थोड़ी देर ना अपने को सिखाने के लिए, अपने को अपना साधना को आगे ले जाने के लिए ऐसा एक ट्यूटरिंग, टीचिंग, हैबिट बनाना, ये सब करना होता है. कौपीनं शतखंड जरतरं कंथा पुनस्तादृशी नैश्चिन्त्यं निरपेक्ष भैक्षमशनं निद्राश्मशाने वने स्वातन्त्र्येण निरङ्कुशं विहरणं स्वान्तं प्रशान्तं सदा स्थैर्यं योगमहोत्सवेऽपि च यदि त्रैलोक्यराज्येन किम्. तो बात यह है that how the mind will become filled with divinity, filled with higher thoughts. Only when that will take place, you will find that mind will come away from all the very petty matters that we deal with constantly. हमेशा मन में जो खिचखिच होता रहता है, उससे मन हट जाएगा. जब मन क्या सोचने लगेगा? All the higher things. So you must deal with these higher things. What are those? हम उद्धव के बारे में बता रहे थे. आई थिंक एक कुछ बोलते हुए दूसरा कुछ में चले गए. उद्धव के बारे में बता रहे थे कि कि कृष्ण ने उनको कहा कि तुम जाओ. उसने कहा कि मेरे में इतना ये है, पोजेसिवनेस है, अटैचमेंट है, हम कैसे जाएं? तो कृष्ण ने उसको उद्धव गीता सुनाया. Now the question is, why is it that Uddhava, who had remained with Krishna for so many years, he did not attain non-attachment? समझ में आया? He had been moving about with Krishna. Just by moving with Krishna, he has not got lack of attachment or lack of possessiveness. At the end, he is saying that please teach me how to be non-attached. So what is that? His moving with his Krishna has not given him the attainment. Why? Because he has just moved. He has just moved with him, played with him, has gone with him wherever Krishna went, talked with him, sat with him, eaten with him. He has not asked Krishna ever that, Krishna, I am having attachment. Please remove my attachment. All these years, though he has had the Sangha with whom? Sangha with a realized soul like Krishna. He has not asked Krishna how to grow non-attachment. That is why he did not. हमको कभी कभी लगता है, जैसे यहाँ पे भी लोग आके बोलते हैं स्वामी जी को, स्वामी जी बेटी की शादी नहीं हो रही है, उसका बहुत उम्र बढ़ रहा है, 2 मैचेस आए थे, प्रपोजल्स आए थे, दोनों अभी चला गया, अब इसकी एज तो बढ़ रहा है, स्वामी जी हम लोग बहुत चिंतित हैं, तो आशीर्वाद दे दीजिए जल्दी से इसकी शादी हो जाए. हमको कभी कभी लगता है यही चाह होता है कि आशीर्वाद दे दीजिए ताकि ये जो स्थिति में हम हैं वो सुधर जाए. आशीर्वाद इसके लिए कभी नहीं पूछते हैं कि स्वामी जी हम चिंतित रहते हैं, हम बहुत टेंशन में रहते हैं, मेरे को ये बता दीजिए कि हम कैसे चिंता मुक्त रह सकें, हम कैसे उस स्टेज में जा सके जहाँ पे हम चिंता मुक्त होंगे, जहाँ पे हम अनअफेक्टेड होंगे. अगर मेरी बेटी की शादी नहीं भी हुई तो भी हम कैसे अनअफेक्टेड रहेंगे वो हमको थोड़ा बता दीजिए। कोई नहीं पूछता है। Nobody wants that. But we must. We must. उसीलिए हम बार बार बोल रहे थे शास्त्र वाक्य और गुरु वाक्य ये दोनों में बहुत जोर देना है। We must. We should not become fools. Once we know that there is a state where we can reach, reaching where we will be unaffected in any situation in life, we must try to go there. उसके लिए जो कुछ भी करना होगा करना है। कौपीनम शतखंड जरतरम, ये श्लोक हम इसलिए बोलना चाहते हैं क्योंकि हमारा जो मन है ना, अभी जब तक हम लोग सुन रहे हैं, जब तक हम पढ़ेंगे भी, तब क्या होगा, ये सब अच्छा लगेगा, उसके बाद ये दूर चला जाता है। तो बार बार ऐसी चीज़ों को पढ़ना है, ऐसी चीज़ों को समझना है, एक रूटीन बना के, ताकि मन में ये हमेशा घूमते रहें, गूंजते रहें, so that these are there in the mind. Throughout the day, sometime or other, these thoughts will come to the mind. Oh, अच्छा, this kind of a state is there. So I can also have it. I can also have it. तो इस श्लोक में क्या बोलते हैं? A person who is free, who has attained freedom, how is he? कौपीनम शतखंड जर्जरतरम कंथा पुनस्तादृशी। उस आदमी का कौपीन है, सिर्फ कपड़े नहीं है तो है, नहीं है तो नहीं है। और कौपीनम शतखंड जर्जरतरम, कौपीन भी जो है वो भी फटा हुआ, शतखंड 100 जगह पे फटा हुआ है। कंथा पुनस्तादृशी, उसको, इसके पास एक कपड़ा है अपने आप को ओढ़ने के लिए, रात को उसी को ओढ़ के सो जाता है। पुनः तादृशी, उसका भी, उसमें भी वो 100 छेद हैं। नैश्चिंतम निरपेक्ष भैक्षमशनम, और उसको कुछ परवाह नहीं है। ही इज नॉट अफेक्टेड, ही इज निश्चिंता। निश्चिंता जानते हैं ना, किसको निश्चिंत बोलते हैं? जिसके पास कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, एब्सोल्युटली पीसफुल। नैश्चिंतम निरपेक्ष भैक्षमशनम, और वो निश्चिंत रूप में है, वो जो कुछ मिलता है वही खाता है। अगर किसी ने खाना दिया तो खा लिया, कहाँ पे खाया? हाथ में ही लेके खा लिया, नहीं तो किसी पत्ते में डाल के खा लिया। कुछ मिला तो मिला, नहीं मिला तो नहीं मिला। हम बता रहे थे ना, wandering sannyasis, sometimes our wandering sannyasis come, even young ones. So some discuss with them. एक दिन किसी से पूछा, बेटा तुम लोग इतना घूमते हो, खाना वाना मिलता है तुम लोग को? बोला कि नहीं स्वामी जी महाराज, कभी कभी मिलता है, कभी कभी नहीं मिलता है। तो नहीं मिलने से कैसा लगता है? मुझे शुरू में बहुत कष्ट होता था, अभी तो एकदम हैबिट हो गया है। मिल गया तो खा लिया, नहीं मिला तो पानी पी के सो गए। बट दे आर वॉन्डरिंग, लुकिंग फॉर वॉट? लुकिंग फॉर समथिंग विच द वर्ल्डली पीपल विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड what they are looking for. So, नैश्चिन्त्यम निरपेक्ष भैक्षमशनम निद्राश्मशाने वने, और सोने का भी या तो श्मशान में, नहीं तो वन में, कहीं भी जाके सो जाता है। स्वातंत्रेण निरंकुशम विहरणम, he goes about wandering. स्वातंत्रेण, आप कहिए, आप कोई स्वतंत्र है? कोई नहीं। बंधे हुए हैं किसके साथ? फैमिली के साथ, बच्चों के साथ, हस्बैंड वाइफ के साथ, पेरेंट्स के साथ, अपने पैसों के साथ। एवरीबडी इज बाउंड एंड नोबडी इज इंडिपेंडेंट। कोई स्वतंत्र नहीं है, सब पराधीन है। बट ही इज पराधीन, उसके पास कुछ है ही नहीं, किसका अधीन बनेगा? स्वातंत्रेण निरंकुशम विहरणम, इसीलिए वो कहीं भी चला जाता है, कोई चिंता ही नहीं है। स्वांतम, पर उसका मन किधर है? अपने अंदर। अगर वो देखने लगता कि इस पृथ्वी में, अरे इसके पास तो 2 गाड़ियां हैं, इसके पास 3 घर हैं, ये बहुत अच्छा कपड़ा पहना हुआ है, अगर ये सब देखने लगता तो शायद उसको दुख होता। पर उसका मन किधर है? स्वांतम, कहाँ? हमने वो श्लोक कल बोला था ना, अंदर, जहाँ पे फाउंटेन ऑफ जॉय है, फाउंटेन ऑफ हैप्पीनेस है, जो जॉय और हैप्पीनेस डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन एनीथिंग. His mind is there. He has touched it. He has completely attained it. And that is why स्वांतम प्रशांतम सदा, प्रशांत हो गया उसका मन, ट्रैंक्विल, प्रशांत, काम. एंड व्हेन नॉट टुडे, जैसे आपको कुछ चाहिए, बेटी की शादी नहीं हो रहा था, शादी हो गई, बहुत प्रशांत है उस दिन मन. अगला दिन क्या है? वही, ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ अदर थिंग्स विल कम. इसका ऐसा नहीं है. स्वांतम प्रशांतम सदा, सदा, ऑलवेज, ऑलवेज, अनब्रोकनली. स्थैर्यम योग महोत्सवे पिच यदि, स्थैर्यम, योग महोत्सव. उसके लिए महोत्सव क्या है? उसके लिए महोत्सव पैसा मिलने से नहीं, बहुत बहुत सबका प्यार हो, रिस्पेक्ट हो, डिवोशन हो, वो मिलने से नहीं. उसका महोत्सव है कब? जब योग महोत्सव, when he has got united with its own self, जब सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन हुआ, that is the महोत्सव for him. उसमें वो स्थिर है. स्थैर्यम योग महोत्सवे पिचयति. ये जो आदमी है, इसके पास कपड़े नहीं है, हो भी सकता है, पर नहीं भी है, वो इस स्थिति में रहता है, रहते हुए भी वो प्रशांत है. और अपना स्थिरता, दृढ़ता किसमें है? अपनी योग महोत्सव में, जहाँ पे उसने ही हैज रियलाइज्ड हिज ओन सेल्फ. उसीलिए उसको त्रैलोक्य राज्य न किम, त्रिलोक का क्या राज्य चाहिए? कुछ नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि वो अपने आप में ही इतना संतुष्ट है. वेदांत वाक्येषु सदा रमन्तः, भिक्षान्न मात्रेण च तुष्टिमन्तः, विशोकमन्तः करणे चरन्तः, कौपीनवन्तः खलु भाग्यवन्तः. ये भी शंकराचार्य का है. वेदांत वाक्येषु सदा रमन्तः, ये सब सुनने का है. बिकॉज these are not the states one can immediately attain. When we start proceeding on this path, we must hear about these people, those who have attained. At least for a time being, for a little while, we'll be able to touch and see what that state is, what kind of freedom. वेदांत वाक्येषु सदा रमन्तः, उसका मन हमेशा रमन करता है. कहाँ पे? वेदांत वाक्य में. भिक्षान्न मात्रेण च तुष्टिमन्तः, भिक्षान्न मिलने से उसी में संतोष है, जो कुछ मिल गया उसी में संतोष. विशोकमन्तः करणे चरन्तः, अंदर कोई शोक नहीं है. देयर इज नो शोका एट ऑल. उसी तरह वो घूमते रहता है. कौन? कौपीनवन्तः खलु भाग्यवन्तः. वो भाग्यवान वही है जो, जिसने सब छोड़ दिया है, जो कौपीनवंत है और जो ऐसा करके वेदांत वाक्य में डूबे रहता है, जिसका अंदर कोई शोक नहीं है. यही आप लोग तो नहीं हो पाएंगे, पर उसको सोच के आनंद कर सकते हैं कि ऐसा एक स्थिति है, ऐसा एक स्टेट है. इसको हम सिर्फ सुन के, उसके बारे में सुन के हम उसको एंजॉय कर सकते हैं. क्वचिन्मूढो विद्वान् क्वचिदपि महाराज विभवः, क्वचिद्भ्रान्तः सौम्यः क्वचिदजगराचारकलितः, क्वचित् पात्रीभूतः क्वचिदवमत क्वाप्यविदितः चरत्येवं प्राज्ञः सतत परमानंद सुखितः क्वचिन्मूढो विद्वान् क्वचिदपि महाराज विभवः। वो जो है जिसने सेल्फ रियलाइज कर लिया है, जो जीवन का जो एम है उसके अंत में जाके पहुंचे हैं, डेस्टिनेशन में पहुंच गए, उनका व्यवहार कैसा है? क्वचिन्मूढो विद्वान, कभी वो चुपचाप रहेंगे, सब लोग सोचेंगे ये तो मूढ़ है, इसको कुछ आता ही नहीं है। हम कह रहे थे ना हमारे आश्रम में सन्यासीज काम, वी डोंट नो रियली whether they are learned, whether they are realized, because they don't express. So they will be sometimes sitting like a fool. Kvachin mudho vidwan, sometimes they will be expressing their scholarship. जो कुछ भी बोलेंगे सबको पता होगा कि इसको मालूम है. Kvachidapi maharaja vibhavaha, sometimes they will be walking and people will be walking along with them. He will be walking in a royal style because the devotees, they will make all arrangements. अच्छा सीट, जैसे यहाँ पे भी लगाया अच्छा सीट, फूल लगाया, वो सब सजा दिया है, सब कुछ किया है. और कभी कभी स्वामी जी जाते हैं जहाँ पे गांव में किसी एक छोटा सा टेम्पल में लेक्चर देने, वहाँ पे एक वो गिरने वाला स्टेज, छोटा सा टेबल, पंखा तो है ही नहीं, ऐसी जगह में भी वो जाके लेक्चर दे के आते हैं. महाराजा विभवः, it depends on others whether they are making arrangements or not. Kvachid bhrantah, sometimes he will be behaving like a bhrantah, deluded person. सौम्यः, कभी बिल्कुल serene सौम्य रूप से बैठे रहेंगे. क्वचिद अजगराचार कलितः, और कभी कभी he will be like an ajagara, python. Python, you know, it doesn't move. When some animal goes in front of its mouth, it opens the mouth and catches it. So he will be sitting. If food is given, he will take. If food is not given, he will not take food. क्वचित पात्री भूतः, कभी कभी तो लोग सम्मान देंगे, माला देंगे, चीजें देंगे. क्वचिद अवमतः, कभी इंसल्ट करेंगे. जैसे कभी यहाँ कभी गए थे, कहाँ पे अभी या पूरी तरह याद नहीं रहा, एक जना, हाँ कहीं पे जाके हम लोग, शायद कोई एयरपोर्ट ही होगा, सीट में बैठे हुए हैं लाउंज में, तो स्वामी जी भी बैठे हुए हैं और स्वामी जी के पास में कोई बैठे हुए, वो एक पैर के ऊपर एक पैर रख के उनके मुंह के पास ऐसा ऐसा कर रहे हैं. हम लोग भक्तों को देख के तो खराब लगेगा, पर वो ऐसे ही अपमान हो रहा है. कोई कोई तो कुछ बोल के भी अपमान कर देते हैं. पर क्वचित् पात्रीभूतः क्वचिद् अवमतः क्वाप्य विदितः, और कभी कभी nobody knows him, who is he, उसके साथ ऐसे ही बिहेव करते हैं. चरत्येवं प्राज्ञः सतत परमानंद सुखितः. But this self-realized person, he will be in different moods, जो जिस समय जहाँ पे जैसा, but he is moving around, he is the prajna, he has known himself, he has known the self. And what is the condition of his mind? Satata paramananda sukhitaha. Paramananda sukhitaha. It's full of paramananda. It is full of bliss, or not brokenly. Satata, always. Always it is so. Always it is so. So this is what that state is. हमने क्यों ये सब बोला अभी मालूम है? जो साधना करने वाले हैं, जिनको लगता है कि हम इस पथ में आगे बढ़ेंगे, उनको चाहिए कि जो जिनको सिद्धि हो गया है, वो किस तरह विचरते हैं, वो थोड़ा देखें, सुने, सीखे. That becomes the sadhana. That becomes the aim. हमने aim क्या बोला? First day itself I said we must have an aim. What is the aim? To be unaffected, to be fearless. पर वहाँ तक पहुँचेंगे कैसे? पहुँचना तो है स्टेप बाय स्टेप ही ना जा सकते हैं. माने वो दरवाज़ा से मुझे निकलना है, अब मुझे यहाँ से चल के जाना है उधर. यहाँ पे अगर किसी ने बहुत पत्थर रख दिए हैं, बहुत सारे फर्नीचर रख दिए हैं, बहुत कुछ रख दिया है ताकि हम सीधा जा ही नहीं पाएँ, तो सबसे पहले मुझे क्या करना होगा? उनको हटाना होगा. सो दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट स्टेप. एम हमारा एक है, वो एम से भ्रष्ट होना है. थ्रू आउट द डे मेक इट अ हैबिट टू रिमेंबर योर एम, दैट आई एम नॉट अ फूल. आई हैव माइंड एंड इंटेलिजेंस. I have faith in the Shastras. I have faith in the Guru Vakyas. And our Shastras and Guru Vakya, they are saying what? That there is a state where you can have happiness and peace which does not depend on any object. It comes out from yourself. And that state is the state of fearlessness, state of unaffectedness. If I know this, I must strive to attain that. To whichever point I can go, I will go. Maybe I will not reach, but I will make an attempt. I will make an effort. Otherwise, I am a fool. Otherwise, I am complacent with my life. The life which is giving me constantly pain and suffering and affliction. Of course, there is happiness, but mostly it is anxiety, tension, and fear. So we should not be forgetting our aim, and the initial steps to that aim is to remove all the avarjana. In whichever manner we have to purify our mind, in whichever way we have to train ourselves, we have to do that. Okay. सम्पूर्णं जगदेव नन्दनवनं सर्वेऽपि कल्पद्रुमाः गाङ्गं वारि समस्तवारिनिवहाः पुण्याः समस्ताः क्रियाः वाचः प्राकृतसंस्कृता श्रुतिशिरो वाराणसी मेदिनी सर्वावस्थितिरस्य वस्तु विषया दृष्टे परब्रह्मणि सर्वावस्थितिरस्य वस्तु विषया दृष्टे परब्रह्मणि. जय गुरु, जय गुरु.